All right.
I'll just wait for the message that I can start the countdown, because I don't know whether people are already able to see this. And I also want to move my mouse cursor, or we get the really dramatic cutscene. Okay.
I do see streams.
Yeah. So this is Tomb Raider Underworld, the third and final. Nice, we still got the cutscene. The third and final game in the trilogy, and I'll just start in 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, you will see that this game has quite the loading times in between levels. Other than that, it's worth mentioning that despite this game not having an airwalk because it runs off a different engine, it is still the fastest run out of the 3 if you don't count in loading times. So that might kind of tell you that there is also something wrong with this game.
Yeah, the very first level here where Cadarev is going to be doing a skip that skips 5 levels?
3
6 levels?
Well, it depends on what you count as a level. I mean, 3 major levels and some small ones in between, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that basically guts half of this game right from the get-go. You can probably already notice that there's definitely a lot of differences between the last games and this one. This one runs on an entirely different engine, which is why the tricks from the earlier engines aren't working on this.
Yeah, you want to explain why the prologue skip works, or should I do that?
So later on in this game, you come back to Croft Manor, because this is actually kind of a flashback that the game starts with, but it's actually the same level technically. So you're able to do this skip where you do a swan dive and grab a ledge that you normally aren't supposed to grab in the prologue. And
that's this one I just did.
Yeah, exactly. So that skips pretty much like several large chunks of the game.
Mm-hmm. Because this lets us hit this level end trigger, which is actually the level end trigger for the second time you visit this map. The first one we were actually supposed to get was at the bottom of the, or like the main hall there, and by grabbing that ledge you actually can reach the second level end trigger, which brings us to southern Mexico, which would actually come after the Mediterranean Sea and what else? Thailand and England and some small levels in between. So yeah, that's about after the game skipped. Which brings us back to what makes the trilogy really great, which is motorbike segments. Though it is worth mentioning that this motorbike does behave quite a bit differently from the one in Legend, and also this is not an autoscroller or anything. We actually want to hit or get to one end of this level where you are supposed to do some puzzle with spinny calendar thingies on the ground to unlock the next level. But yeah,
Mayan calendar.
And now it's a spinny calendar. Yeah. And yeah, we also have some way to bypass that, but we'll see.
Yeah. This is actually kind of a open world-ish segment if you're playing it normally, because like it's a very large area that you're kind of driving back and forth between. But once again, speedrun, we don't have to worry about all that trash.
Yeah. So the skip we are about to do actually I think might be might be seen as the most difficult one, because I have to do 3 swan dives in succession without, like pretty precise ones, without failing any one of them. And if I fail one of them, I die. Though the nearest checkpoint is like right behind me, so we don't really lose that much time, but yeah. And once I get those 3 swan dives, I will have to clip back inbounds by throwing a grenade and then jumping into its explosion, which will actually let me survive a fall that would otherwise be lethal, but you'll see that. Also worth mentioning is block physics in this game are absolutely terrible. I hope you don't get to see that. Okay, you don't. And this is the skip I was talking about. So I want to do 3 swan dives over these statue heads. I got the jumps, that's good. So now I need to do the second half of the skip, which is arguably more difficult.
So once again, this is why you have the American here to say words.
Okay, got it, good. I took a bit more damage than necessary there, because the amount of damage you take... Also, by the way, I want to get my motorbike, so I'll get it here. The amount of damage you take there is dependent on how close you are to the hand grenade when it goes off. And I apparently was pretty close to the hand grenade. I obviously wasn't able to see because the arrow was deloaded. And now that we have our motorbike back, get ready for some more driving action, I guess.
You'll notice that I go silent whenever he does like the kind of grenade related tricks. It's because he needs to actually be hearing the beeping to know when to jump, because the grenades are on a timer. So he needs to know when he needs to get hit back by the explosion.
Yeah.
And also because I don't know much about this game.
So yeah, we're now approaching the kind of hub area of this part of the level. And we are actually able to skip all the puzzles in this area and go straight to the next part, but the problem is once we're there we actually don't have a way yet to get back to the surface. So what I will have to do instead is do all the puzzles here, which might sound pretty bad, but it's actually not, because there are still some ways to speed them up a bit. And first I want to raise this central structure here. I can actually skip all these small, like, kind of soft cutscenes by pressing roll, which will still make the, cutscene play out, but I don't have to watch it. I can already interact with everything while that's going on. So right now those doors are still opening, even though it's, like, not displayed on screen, I guess. And I can already turn these statues around. And yeah, once I turn around the 4th one, I can go into the 1st chamber, which will have arguably the best camera shots of this game, because they're absolutely atrocious. Here I can swan dive to go up that slope, which I'm not supposed to climb, to make this climbing segment a bit faster. And then once I'm on that ledge, right here, I have to do a swan dive again to reach the door to the chamber, because it's actually just a bit too far away to reach it with normal jump. And this is the camera I was talking about. So you have slow motion, and right in the middle of this room the camera angle changes. That's great. And yeah, that's the first stone tablet. We have to get 4, which we will insert into the central structure to make it go up so we can access the bottom part of the level.
Gotta love that slow motion.
You sure do. So now we do this exact same trick again to get up this part. Okay, Laura, please don't do that, thank you. And now... Camera. What? Yeah, the camera's great now. So now we get into this really difficult chamber. As you can see, there is a whole lot I have to do here to get this stone tablet. And now that I get out of this chamber, I can try to clean up some of the spiders that are in here, because they would get a bit annoying later on when I have to insert the stone tablets. They could knock me down, stuff I don't really want to. This room is kind of interesting in that obviously when I go through this trap from this side, it's not that much of a hassle, because it goes kind of with the flow of these crushing parts. But obviously for the inverse direction, that's not really the case, so I have to use this block to kind of gain some, head start. Now there is a way to actually do this without the block, but it requires a pretty strict setup, and I don't really want to waste my time with something that might fail. Which means we're now at 3 of 4 stone tablets, and we're off to the final testing chamber, I guess, which will be the fire one. And since there are a lot of horizontal poles that Laura can swing on in that fire chamber, we can kind of, I wouldn't say warp, but, you know, fly past some of these flame jets here. At least I hope I can, if I hit the jump correctly. I did, good.
You just get burned a little, it's fine.
Yeah. And that's the final stone tablet. So now we just get out of this room. And we insert them into the central structure. We finally get to ride our motorbike again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oops, didn't mean to weapon swap there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I was pretty sure there was another spider around here, so... Good, we caught that one. So yeah, that's the 4 stone tablets. Now the we can push the statues into the center, and once we do that for all 4 of them, we can continue on. And in this bottom part of the level, you're supposed to retrieve, I think it's Thor's belt, when if I'm not mistaken. And to do that, you're supposed to kind of like leave your bike behind and do this whole climbing section that takes forever. And to ensure that, they put a stone in your way that you can only really move if you have the belt. So you're kind of supposed to really get it, but since we can swan dive in this game, and the swan dive is really broken, that's not really something we have to bother with.
And Thor, of course, is a very prominent figure in Norse mythology, and obviously Mayan as well, apparently.
And Tomb Raider as well.
Excuse me?
Never mind. Okay, so we are supposed to get over this slope with the motorbike, but we can actually, if I would be able to swan dive here, we can actually make that jump with a swan dive, like that. So we cleared this side of the obstacle. And now we pick up some stone skull that we can use to unlock the entry, because that's basically our next objective, just escape this level. If there was another way to get out of this level without having to pick up this stone skull, then we wouldn't have to do any of this. But yeah, from this part on, you're supposed to venture deeper into this level to get Thor's belt, but with a very somewhat precise swan dive back over this thing, which I failed, we can skip that part. Like that. And yeah, some more motorbike time.
Hooray!
Hey.
And coming up soon is the best skip of the run.
Yeah, which I totally will not fail. Maybe. So yeah, next up is John Mayen Island, which has like the first part of the level, you're supposed to climb this rotating tower in the center of the main hall. And on so the tower has 4 levels. On every level you're supposed to switch around the side panels so they line up with some symbols on the ground. Also, since I have some time to spend, here are some shots fired, because this game really doesn't have too many. But we can actually bypass that tower entirely by, yeah, you'll see. We'll abuse another grenade cancel, so that would be great.
It is a bit difficult, though, from what I understand.
The thing, it's not really difficult, it's just that it's not super consistent, and if you fail it, you go all the way back to the start of the level, basically. Which is 1 minute time loss immediately, and then some.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A bit nerve-wracking.
Maybe.
Although you can't exactly change it, so I guess it's just...
Yeah. Have to get used to it. So this is the thing we need the stone skull for, otherwise this level wouldn't work, and this level just unlocks the entry. So that's that.
Oh boy.
Here we go. So this is the, you can already see the tower, but don't worry, we won't really get to see too much of it.
Yeah, and there is going to be another grenade skip coming up here soon, and once again, Cadarev is going to need silence for it. So I'm going to have to ask the chat to be completely silent. If any of you chat, I will be writing down your names and forwarding it to a mod to ban you. So if you could just You could just not.
Also,
That would be great.
please enjoy this final motorbike segment, because this is where we leave our motorbike behind for good. We're actually supposed to take it into the next room and drive it all the way down, but you'll see we have a better way of getting down there without having to use the motorbike. Also, I'll do a safety save here. Okay, so we have to get to the bottom of this room. Let's see how that works out. If I could get it, thank you. So yeah, that's a bit faster, I guess. And now I first clear out these guys, because they obviously would kind of interfere with my setup for the next skip. And now I will break open this urn to reveal this artifact. And if I pick up this artifact from a certain angle, it will actually push me back and just far enough where I can go out of bounds. I will walk around, run around here to reach the gate that I'm about to skip. Only problem is this floor does not extend beyond the or around the gate, so I have to make a jump past it. And to make matters worse, the gate extends into the void, so I'll have to do an angled jump around it, which I'll try to do here. Oh shit. Okay, let's just do it again. I would try to stop it because I slipped off my keyboard, but oh well. At least you get to see this part again. Dude, literally rip urn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I counted about 10 people who chatted, so 10 bans. It's nice that they give you just a ton of grenades, though.
Yeah, the amount of grenades is dependent on the difficulty you're playing on.
Because in Legend you only had 4, right?
Cap of 4, yes. I'm stupid. Oh my god.
Cadarev, no.
Yeah. No. This could still finish underestimate. Let's hope it will. So now you can actually see why this is somewhat of a stupid skip, because as you see, I always get sent back to the top of this part and have to do all of this again.
At least you get to watch that funny, like, crouched fall all the way to the bottom every time.
Yeah. Doesn't really help with, you know, getting this skip though.
Wow. It's entertaining.
I hate myself. Okay, let's... God.
So that's 3.
That's 3, that's correct.
Do it 5 times, you get a special prize.
At this point it might have been faster to just do it the normal way. But don't tell anyone.
I won't. You're not on mic.
Imagine streaming this.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Look at it this way. At least it didn't happen on one of the good games.
I think I need to. Oh my god. Just do one. Like, I think I completely screwing up the timing. Just need to see. Yeah, see, like once I can actually see her, it's not that big of a problem. See, fifth time's the try, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going well.
Oh, so is it the delayed swan dive that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were messing up the timing on the grenade.
First try, nice.
Hell yeah.
So
Me and
now
that
we
boy.
just run to the next part of this game, or of this level, where you're actually supposed to do this weird process of going from side to side of the main hall. You'll see there are some hammers ready to smash a bridge that is in the middle of the room. But yeah, thanks to the swan dive that I'll definitely won't mess up this time. I should be able to swan dive just around the loading trigger. Thanks, chat. You're really nice. So this is the bridge I'm talking about, and you can see the hammers there ready to make it not whole. But first I'll do a safety save here, because obviously if I do trigger the cutscene and the bridge falls apart, that's no good. Then I'll try to get this first try this time. Which I did, good. So now this guy doesn't really care, and I fucked up the easy part, nice. But doesn't really matter, I mean the checkpoint here is pretty close.
So our saves in this game, they're not based on checkpoints, you can just save at any point? Or
No. Well, you can save at any point, but you'll always get reset to the last checkpoint you were at, you know.
Ah, okay. One of these days, game developers will figure out how to save wherever you are.
Wow, that jump was hard. So yeah, now this bridge just stays intact and we can run straight to the end of the level. Can somebody please tell me what the time is at right now? Even though it will probably not be good. So yeah, this next part is just a running simulator. There is nothing we really have to kill, we just have to reach the end of the level. I mean, I guess that's kind of true for the entire game, but this is actually kind of the intended way.
23 minutes according to High Jazz. Yeah,
Okay, thanks. Means I have 10 minutes left.
Easy.
So yeah, as I said, just running past all of these guys and hoping they don't kill me. Here we can do another one of these crouch jumps to mitigate the fall damage here, because it would actually kill us after all the damage we've taken from the gunshots. And yeah, that's the end of this level. which took a while to load there, whatever. And this is already the final level. Well, already would have been faster if I didn't fail 5 times there. So the start of this level actually involved this puzzle where you have to collect some stone plates to and insert them into some statues to make these big statues raise their swords and be all cool stuff to unlock the main gate. But luckily we can also skip that. At least I hope. With how the run has been going, I wouldn't be too sure about it.
You'll do perfect. Hey, it's the bike. People were complaining about no bike, and there it is.
Yeah, not really. We can't really take it with us.
Wow.
So these are the big statues I was talking about, and the stone tablets are kind of scattered all around this area, and we don't really care about them. Yeah, instead we will go straight for this tower, and we will abuse a horizontal pole to clip ourselves into the side of this tower, and from there we can fall out of bounds. At least I hope we can.
So when are the all artifacts runs? There's only 153 of them, if I remember right.
I don't know how many there are, but yeah,
Too many.
Not by
Way
me.
too many.
So yeah, this is the pole I was talking about, and by jumping and re-grabbing, we can, as you can see, clip ourselves into this side, and then by falling off at the correct time, we can go out of bounds here. Adjust our camera, though it won't really help too much because it is absolutely terrible and I don't know where I am. See, just turned me around for no reason whatsoever. I mean, they didn't even think about having a good camera out of bounds. What the hell? Not that the camera is much better in the rest of the game. And yeah, that's that gate skipped. Now we just... Basically this was the last puzzle skip as such. From now on it's just a bunch of running to the final boss / puzzle, and then we're good.
Yep.
Getting
close.
I hope we're good.
We have this dolphin swimming that Laura does.
Yeah. You might have realized that this game has a sprint mechanic and stamina and all that stuff. And you can also sprint underwater, which gives you this animation. Only problem really is that the stamina meter or amount is invisible, so you only really realize it when she stops sprinting. And then you have to wait a bit for the stamina to refill.
That way you get more immersed.
Yeah.
Right now I truly believe that I'm in a Norse underworld.
Okay, so here we can ignore all of these guys by hopefully jumping in the correct directions, which is looking pretty good so far. Okay. And yeah, that was that part. Actually done glitchless. Disgusting. So this part I think is pretty cool when you play it casually, because there will be a lot of enemies running down this hallway, and at this point you have Mjolnir, the Hammer of Thor, which basically one-hits all of these guys, two-hits these bigger guys, but yeah, we don't really care about them in the speedrun and can just run straight past them. And same for these guys. Unless they give you a clothesline and kill you, but that's fine. The checkpoint was right behind me, so isn't the first time that I get sent back.
Mjolnir works pretty much the same way that King Arthur's sword did in
Yeah.
Legend, right?
Yeah, exactly.
By which I mean Excalibur.
Thor's hammer works the same way as Arthur's sword did, is what you meant to say. So yeah, this is the final boss slash puzzle. There aren't any boss fights in this game as such, so it's basically comes down to this. So what I want to do is I want to move these 3 pillars like these into their like sockets there to make me able to reach some stone tablets that I have to destroy. There are 2 of these pillars at the very bottom level. I killed that guy so he doesn't disrupt me while I'm pushing in this pillar. Then I kill that guy again so he doesn't bother me while I try to make this jump. I hope Natla doesn't snipe me, which she doesn't, but she still has some opportunities to do so. Yes, we're literally out of time here. Haha.
As very unfun as this part of the game is, it is probably the closest that this game got to making like a kind of epic-ish feeling kind of final encounter.
So I'll smash the first stone tablet now, and I'll cancel out of the cutscene immediately because I want to catch the platforms as early as I can. And as I said, when I cancel out of cutscenes, the platforms still behave as if they were in a cutscene, which is why they're all mixed up here. And I can try to abuse that to catch this ledge earlier than I usually would, which I did, so at least that worked out.
That's a pretty inconsistent part, isn't it?
No. Depends. Like, it used to be a lot more inconsistent, but that was mainly because I was really, really bad. Now I'm just bad, as you saw during this run.
Okay. You're moving up in the world.
This is the final pillar I have to push in. Here Natla will be able to snipe me again, which I hope she doesn't this time, but you never know. This is not high enough. Oh boy, that worked out somehow. So now we're at the top level of this structure. I just missed the platform, that's fine. I'll have to smash 2 more stone tablets and then we're done. Yeah, now just ride this platform over there, smash that stone tablet and make my way to the central structure where this last stone tablet will be. Once again, I cancel the cutscenes as early as possible so I can catch an early cycle. Like that. So yeah, Laura isn't usually supposed to grab these because they're still kind of like swaying into place, but thankfully there is a grabbable ledge there.
At least Amanda's still alive. Spoilers.
Oh no, I don't think she will be for much longer.
Alright, rude. Like, I was trying to avoid spoilers, like I didn't even say that Lara's mom died. Oh, whoops.
Please don't miss. Oh wow, she actually grabbed it. So yeah, Lara can actually... Whoa. And she didn't grab the next one, okay. So at least you get to see this amazing jump. But don't worry, we're at the top of the tower again. So we get to try this again.
Amanda's that one girl.
And get ready on time, which is now.
Alright.
Yep.
You did it.
I did
You
it.
beat it.
That was the Tomb Raider trilogy, done a bit faster than usual, but not as fast as possible.
This wasn't a segmented run, unfortunately. I know it looked like one in a lot of moments, but...
Yeah. So if for any reason that kind of like you enjoyed those runs, there is a Tomb Raider speedrunning community called Tomb Runner, and you can join our Discord, which you will find on speedrun.com, or just message me or Fino or whoever. And yep, that's about it. Now we can enjoy our victory by Antidote. So thanks, Fino, for making this easier for me. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks to Shots Fired for having me as well. And thanks
And make sure to follow Cadarev.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen that yet.
No.
Yeah.
Has anyone said that yet?
I don't think so. Would be cool if it appeared in chat.
So now we hold hands.
I don't know. If we're still alive, then we won't.
No. Alright.
But
Cut the stream. Change to the next runner.
I still don't know whether I'm still alive or not. Nobody's told me yet, so I'll just pretend.
I think we are. I think we're still alive.
That's cool. So we can watch these amazing credits.
Mm-hmm. I need to pee.
Feel free to do so wherever you want to.
What? I mean, I don't want to pee if people are still listening.
Do I want to know my Underworld time? I don't think I do.
I mean, people didn't say that you were overestimate, I guess. But maybe
if I was able to interpret those emojis well, then I think I went overestimated. Which would surprise me after 4 failed attempts at that. What the
So they're saying that we're watching credits, so I guess we are still alive.